talk about, do you think it was over the top? It would be very hard for someone like me to say it was over the top, to be quite honest. But, you know, he's a young man and he's up there. He's all excited. He's taken on one of the best players in the world, a Premier League player. However, doing it after every shot, a little bit over the top. Just needs to curb it a little bit, but not take it out of his game. We don't want to do that. But what he's got to be careful of is you're going to roll up some of the most experienced players in this game. And getting them angry is not always a good thing because, you know, sometimes when these boys get angry, they play better.
Yeah, well, certainly he did lose his rag a little bit, Bob Thornton. You mentioned he hit a 180 to leave double three, which perhaps wasn't him thinking straight, but he did actually produce some decent darts. I mean, he averaged nearly 98 in that game against Roby John, and that just got him over the line. It was a deciding leg win.
Well, I think the 157 was the turning point for Robert. But I just think that if the young man would have just calmed down a little bit, I think he may have beaten Robert. That's the difference. So, although he upset Robert, Robert was still experienced enough to get over the line where if Roby had kept a little bit more concentration, I think that he may have got over the line himself.
Well, Mensur, he's a guy with oodles of experience. The 42-year-old from Vienna, ranked 41 in the world. And he's played some very good darts this weekend, a consistent level. I mean, he beat Dennis Smith in a deciding leg. It was a great game, that. Both men averaging right up on 100 for most of the match. He ended up with a 96 average. That was dragged down. He missed 5 match darts towards the end. And then he beat Ian White 6-3 with a 95.5 average. And Ian White is a very dangerous character. He's seeded number 10 here. Bob Thornton's the 7th seed. And Thornton will be coming back for Shanghai 99 to hold his throw. But Mensur will be waiting to pounce on 78. Bob Thornton, he's lethal around double top when he's on form. Is he going to get a shot at it here? He's not.
40.
Well, that's a silly dart. You know, don't chuck it off the board because Mensur's only going to get 1 dart perhaps at tops. Admittedly, if he hits the 54, he's going to get 2 at those 12s. Only 1 dart at double top, so if Bob comes back, he ain't going to be happy. And again, you know, a little bit of frustration from Robert Thornton. Throwing that dart off the board means he may only get 1 dart at a double himself.
Yeah, well, it is only going to be 1 dart. And it's a dart at double top. He's usually so reliable. And there we go, Bob Thornton. He's away.
I think we call that 1 you got away with, Bob. But Mensur Suljovic, I mean, I'd like to see someone like him play more on our tour. You know, he's a good, solid player. He could get up the rankings. And, you know, we want people in different countries to get on that pro tour to learn the trade, earn a few quid, and then obviously get into more TV events. That's the way the PDC spreads the word worldwide. We need different nationalities.
Well, I mean, that's a big part of this European tour. Of course, 8 events, all streamed on the internet, various betting sites and PDC TV. And Germany, Holland, here in Austria, we've got 1,400 odd people in here for today's action. Mensur's been the number 1 in Austria for a number of years now, but Roby John Rodriguez, he's the heir apparent. You know, if he were to go on and fulfill his potential, maybe he can inspire another generation of Austrian talent to pick up the tungsten and mix it with the big boys like Robert Thornton, who's big figuratively more than literally.
Yeah, I did laugh when I was talking to Robert again earlier on. And I said, there was one thing that you had the same with him. I said, you're the same height, Robert. He said, yeah, but he said, I can't prance around the stage at my age.
Robert, you require 120.
So 121 here for Thornton. And he would think you'll get 6 darts from here. Maybe only use the 3. 11 for the bullseye. A little red bit right in the middle of the board.
96.
Well, that was for a break of throw. But you have a feeling that Robert Thornton may be back. Mensur has to hit. Well, that's a great start. Went for treble 15, couldn't get there.
117.
Well,
Robert, you require 25.
He set it up nicely. Bob Thornton's only going to get 2 darts. Double 12 he wants. Oh, that's a long, he's nearly at the 9. That would have cost him a dot at the double here. But he doesn't use it. And you can hear the noise of the crowd. This is a chance for Mensur Suljovic.
Yes, and you know he's going to take his time. No one likes to get the crowd just revving up a little bit. There it goes. And been around a while. Got plenty of bottlers, Suljovic. Oh, that's a perfect guide, isn't it? Just come in under that. That was so easy. You know, when we talk about you throw a dart, you know, and you throw it just on the outside wire if you're going to miss, that's what we mean. You know, if you throw it inside, for obvious reasons, you'll come over the other side of the board. You've got no, you know, line and length, as say a cricketer would call it. But you had perfect line and length. It was sitting there. You've only got to hit the flight, funnels down straight in the double.
Yeah, makes it look easy. Winner of this one goes through to the quarterfinals to play either Andy the Pie Man Smith, the conqueror of the second seed Gary Anderson, or the Rocket, Ronnie Baxter. That game coming up after this one. But the Thorn was taken to a deciding leg in his previous match. Mensur's first round game with Dennis Smith went all the way to the 11th leg as well. I would not be surprised if this one goes the distance. And you've got to be a bit gutted if you're Robert Thornton to have pulled out both the big Austrian players one after another. And the one tournament we've got in Salzburg, as Bob Thornton looks to fill this up. Ooh.
The thing about that is, you know, with those Premier League players that are playing in front of, dare I say it at times, a bit hostile crowds, you do harden yourself up. And when there's a lot of noise, it is just the hubbub. It's when it's silent and the odd person whistle, especially a whistle, takes you out your concentration. But you know, it's when it's silent and just one shout or something. That's the thing. But the general hubbub, as Thornton sticks in the first maximum, what a time to hit it! Perfect setup. But as I said, you know, he is a Premier League player. He's used to the big crowds.
100. Robert, you require 40.
So Bob Thornton for a very creditable 13-dart leg and a 2-1 lead. Oh, wow, that is ominous for Mensur Suljovic. Robert Thornton is firing on that double top.
Yeah, good strong 13-dart leg on the throw of Thornton.
96.
And with Gary Anderson having been knocked out, Brendan Dolan, the third seed, having been knocked out, Phil Taylor not at his very peak, we would have to say, at form at the moment, despite the fact he was brilliant in Berlin on the last European tour. And of course Michael van Gerwen not here with the recurrence of his ankle injury. All of these players on this final day will be thinking, I can put a little run together here. And Phil Taylor's taking on Simon Whitlock later, so that one of those two is going out. There's one of those genuine contenders for this title. Won't be going any further than round 3.
Well, also, Dan, you know, there's the ranking side of it. We've got the World Match Play coming up, starts middle of July, live on Sky Sports. And another 180 for Robert Thornton. And if someone like Suljovic or someone that's outside of the rankings picks up this 20,000, all of a sudden, thank you very much, they're in the match play through this Pro Tour Order of Merit.
Yeah, we saw that with Jamie Lewis last year in Gibraltar. Right at the very last moment, snuck in to the World Match Play for his debut at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool by going all the way to the final in Gibraltar, which is our next European Tour event next weekend. Made it all the way to the final, was beaten by Phil Taylor, but the 10 grand check he picked up there got him into the match play. Absolutely delighted. He called his semi-final win over Adrian Lewis. That was his final because he knew that was at stake.
80.
Yes, and after the tournament in Gibraltar, that is when the cut-off for the rankings for the World Match Play. So a little bit of extra pressure on players
42.
just to keep in there, and obviously pressure on the players that can come over the top of them and take their place up there.
So 140 for Mensur Suljovic. Oh, this would be a bit special. I think the crowd thought that was in.
100.
But he sets it up very nicely. And he'll be back for double top to make it 2 apiece. And he might not be under a great deal of pressure here. Well, he won't be.
30.
Well, just the 30 for Bob Thornton. And Mensur Suljovic to level the match up.
From the crowd, rev up Suljovic, and again straight in the middle.
So nip and tuck here, 2 apiece. 2 holds a throw for each man. They have met 5 times in the past, these two. Mensur has won the last 2, including a 9-7 victory at the UK Open in March. The last time that Bob Thornton beat Mensur was back in 2009, beat him in a tournament in Holland, 6-4.
Now I can't understand that shot. The 3rd dart of the leg going for the 25. You know, you've got to pound that treble 20. As experienced as Mensur is, I would not advise any youngster watching this and learning the game to do that. I'm afraid that is an absolute waste of dart.
And what is the thinking? Is it just if you go ton 40 or ton 40 ton, say, it leaves him on 156 rather than, say, 161? I mean, he doesn't want to shot the ball if he goes that far. I mean, it's very forward planning, isn't it?
Well, or the 3 tons and the 105 leaves you to 96. But do you know what? If you're going to do that with your 12th dart. You've got to get as many points on the board as you can. Although Robert Thornton now needs a treble 20 himself.
Yeah, he does, because Mensur's given himself a chance here of a break of throw. He's stolen the darts in this one. He only needs 1 treble to get a shot for a break of throw and a 3-2 lead. He's got the treble he wanted. And he's looking at double 18. And double 18 is there. Superb stuff from Mensur Suljovic. 116 checkout, the first break of throw. And the crowd loved that.
Dead centres, weren't they?
Oh.
You know, his last, you know, the double 12, the double top and the double 18, you know, been dead centres. Even the one on the double 12 was just outside. It's in the middle of that, you know, very solid. And I suppose we will get a few tweets of people saying, well, he wanted 116 instead of 121 because he went for the 25. But my argument would be that if he hit the treble 20, he'd have wanted 81 instead of 116. So it is personal preference.
100.
Peter Everson used to do that just to try and get inside your head and think that he's taking the mickey out of you. But, bit of gamesmanship, I suppose.
Well, I mean, if you're going to sit here and try and predict what Mensur Suljovic is going to throw for, you could drive yourself absolutely balmy.
No, Dave Pallett drives you balmy.
100.
A spotter just goes full board for every single dart of Dave Pallett's.
Yeah, Dave Pallett, he got a bit of a hide-in this weekend, ran into Michael Smith, who was playing the top of his game, 114 average in the first round. He had a pretty frank assessment of his own performance on social media, did Dave Pallett. I'm not going to repeat it here, we'll get taken off here. But I think it's fair to say that he knew he'd been beaten by the better man on that occasion.
100.
Yeah, you could see by the expression on Thornton's face that he needed the 140 and should have had the 140. First dart in the treble. So now Suljovic's going to get 6 darts from here, and the way he's playing, you know, you're going to bank on that he's going to set it up. Well, that's 80. Going to come down for that treble 17 now. That leaves him double 16.
105.
That's not a bad dart to use. Not a bad dart, because he comes back with 2 darts at the double instead of 1. That's when you use that 25.
100.
I like that. I like when a player's thinking about the game.
Well, there's a bit of pressure on this because Bob Thornton is on 101, but Mensur just takes a moment, lets the crowd build up a bit of a chant. He's got 2 darts at double top to open up a bit of daylight, a 2-leg lead. Well, that's a decent marker. Oh, beautiful from Mensur Suljovic. The home crowd favourite takes a 2-leg lead.
Well, that takes his average up to 99. Thornton has dipped from a 99 just under 93. And now Bob,
100.
there we have it.
Well, look, 97.5 for Mensur Suljovic. He averaged 96 in the first match he played, 95.5. He's been consistent all weekend. Now, if he's able to throw like this all the way through today,
Chances.
and finish well, he can beat anybody.
Yeah, good chances. Anything you know, 95 plus is a good average. And if you're throwing them, you're not going to lose too many games. Obviously, you're going to come up against a Phil Taylor or someone that's going to throw 105, 106. But sometimes a 95 average just means that you may have played brilliant on your throw, but not so good on their throw. So the 95 average, you could win 6-2.
Yeah, well, that's a third maximum for Bob Thornton. Mensur's yet to hit one, but he's been very steady. Look at that, it's 16 of those 96 plus scores for Mensur Suljovic. It's just been pretty steady stuff all the way through. Not the power scoring, but his finishing's been good. Aided by that 116 checkout he took in the 5th leg to break the Thornton throw. This is a very good leg from Bob Thornton, though, potentially 11 darter.
86. Robert, you require 81.
Yes, and the Thorn needed it. Needed to stop the rot. Doesn't need to go the 12 bullseye. Goes to treble 10. Well, he's hit the 6. Oh, and he's missed a big number again. It's lucky that Mensur's on 271, a long way off the end of this leg. But Thornton will come back for the 9 double top.
99.
To go with his one leg, but it is Suljovic with that breaker throw. There's the 9. And there is the double top for Robert Thornton's 3rd leg.
Yeah, and all 3 finished on double top, and that's something for Bob Thornton to cling on to when he's getting a chance at double top. He's usually taking it. Strong start for Mensur Suljovic. He knows just 2 holds of throw is going to be enough to put him through to the last 8.
And do you know what, Dan? We talk about throws. Just before we say that, there's the leg-on-leg darts. And not bad at all. First 2 legs, by their standard, just mediocre, but then 13, 16, 12, 15, 14. Yeah, that's very good darts. As I was going to say about, you know, we talk about textbook throws and everybody's different, we know that. But certainly not textbook is Mensur Suljovic's throw.
No, certainly not.
But I'll tell you what, I used to say Lee Trevino shouldn't be able to hit a golf ball, but he was a great player, and Mensur Suljovic is a great dart player.
Yeah, the little sort of jiggle of the dart in his hand as he spins it round in his fingers. He's almost got a little sort of hop as he releases as well.
And when he's got the what we call the back lift of the arm, it's nowhere near the eye line. It's about, there we have it, 8-9 inches across his shoulder. So as he's pulling the dart back, he's coming across his shoulder, and I suppose in golf you'd hook the ball from that sort of position. Thornton, it's another maximum.
Yeah, his 4th of the match, and that leaves him on a potential 11 darter, and it would be for a break of throw. So Bob Thornton just moving through the gears when he really needs it. Is he going to break this Austrian crowd's heart for the 2nd day running? He knocked out their young champion, Roby John Rodriguez. Is he going to knock out Austria's top player? Oh, double 12 he wants. Double 6.
Missed those in an earlier leg, didn't he? So again, he lets in Suljovic. There's 2 ways of going. Is he going to go the 25 bullseye, or will he go straight for the treble 17? A lot of the players think they'll hit a treble in the first 2 darts, and he's gone for, that leaves 66. The big 16 leaves the bullseye. The treble 16 leaves, well,
is that dart in the way, Rod?
no, that's a perfect guide for him. Down that fear, that flight, this is in.
Oh, it certainly is. It certainly is. 91 checkout for Mensur Suljovic. Robert Thornton has missed his chance to break. Back, and now he is staring down the barrel of defeat. He needs 3. Thornton had there. You said the 12s and the 6s before. He's been deadly on double top.
41.
Should he have gone for the bullseye there with his first dart to guarantee himself a dart at well, potentially give himself a dart at double top?
Well, a lot of players do that. Andy Smith and a couple of others, especially. But Robert Thornton never does. I mean, he quite likes the double 12. Double 12 and double top are his favourite doubles. And when you're in that sort of mood and you've played well the last 2 legs, I mean, he's wanted 81 after 9 darts in both those previous 2 legs, so he'd have felt more than confident to pin in the double 12. It's just that Suljovic, and going for the 25, it was a perfect guide from where Suljovic would have been standing. That bullseye would have looked like a bucket.
Well, you can see there, Mensur Suljovic, 63% on his checkouts is world class. He's missed a few ton pluses, but he did get that 116. But there's only one time when he's come to the board needing 100 or fewer, and he has not taken it out.
And he mixed that 63% with the 96.5 average, and that's a tidy game of darts. Not going to lose too many. I know we keep talking about the 100-plus averages, but you consistently throw at this, and you're not going to lose too many.
Well, Bob Thornton, well, he needs this.
140.
Mensur is looking to end this game right here, right now, on the Thornton throw.
Well, I believe Thornton was in the same position against Rodriguez.
45.
And rolled off 3 on the trot. So, and he's got the throw back. So a couple of trebles gets him control of this leg.
140.
And there's the 2 trebles he wanted. The difference between Roby John, of course, and Mensur is about 20 years of experience. Will that tell in this situation?
Yes, given a chance. Mensur knows how to get over the line. He knows how to close games out. So Shanghai for Thornton. He's going to get a dart at the double top, his favourite double top.
80.
Well, he misses it this time. And Mensur only needs 1 treble for a match dart. Well, we're just checking the score here.
Well, he does want 121. I can guarantee he's not going to go for the 25 or bullseye here. There's a silence across that crowd. Look at the treble 20. If he misses that, he'll come down for the treble 17. Now the treble 17. Well, he's not going to get a dart, so Robert Thornton comes back.
62.
But it is only to hold his throw.
40.
Normally lethal on the tops is Thornton.
Well, he'll have to come down for double 10. Oh, all around the board, Bob Thornton. Oh, Bob Thornton, that might be the last dart you throw at this Austrian Darts Open. Mensur Suljovic drinks his drink. A gentle stroll, a bit of a stretch. A puff of the cheeks. Take your time, Mensur. Have a sit down, why don't you? A cup of tea. He will not be rushed.
No, he won't. A bit, not so much like Kevin Pater, but Kevin Pater always makes sure got plenty of air in the chest. Once you take a big deep breath, it keeps your height a little bit more. You don't seem to stoop, so it keeps your height. So he wants double top. Now he's going to miss it just on the top wire, but you kind of got a feeling. Look at that stare. God, I'm running away. You look at me like that. A double top for a quarter-final place. Perfect guide.
Well, he's gone over the top of it there. And Bob Thornton chuntering away at the back there.
Now, Bob, this is where you've got to take a big deep breath. Make sure you hit the big one. Yep, big one.
Ooh, just outside. It's there this time, though. And Bob Thornton is still in there fighting.
And I think the expression on Bob Thornton's face, thinking, I can't get that in there. That was a little bit of luck. I just pitched over the flight. But Thornton is hanging on in there. Rodriguez let him off yesterday.
100.
Is it going to be the same? And you have to say, Dan, the way that Mensur's played this game, he was not expected to miss that, was he?
Well, no. I mean, leading up to that, before he missed those 2 match darts, he was hitting 2 out of every 3 doubles he went for. And anything below 100, he'd pretty much taken it out, no bother. But he missed 2 match darts there.
100.
That's the little difference of just winning a leg in the middle of the game than closing out the match and walking off the stage.
Yeah, he knew how much that meant. A 140 to start for Bob Thornton, but he only follows it up with a 57, and Mensur Suljovic has the advantage again. Oh, it's all getting a bit nervy. Better.
83.
Oh, the hopes of this Austrian crowd rest on the broad shoulders of Mensur Suljovic here.
1 is not enough. 2's acceptable. No, not enough from Thornton. So who can go out in 6 darts from here?
Great first start, Mensur Suljovic. Not a bad second one. Ooh. Well, he'll certainly take that. Pressure on Bob Thornton now. What have you got, Bob? The man from Ayrshire looking to apply some pressure to that 78. It's only 100. Gives him a shout, but Mensur Suljovic is going to get, you would think, at least another match start.
Well, he'd love to see this go in the treble. 18. Oh, it's 20 for double top. Double top it is.
He missed it twice in the previous leg, but he doesn't miss it this time. Mensur Suljovic, to the delight of this Austrian crowd, moves through to the quarter-finals here at Salzburg. Robert Thornton, the number 7 seed, is out, and Suljovic is through to play either Ronnie Baxter or Andy the Pie Man Smith. Those two will be coming up in just a moment after a few words from your winner. How's your German? Test it out with Mensur.
Applaus für Robert Thornton. Mensur kommt aus dem Lachen gar nicht mehr raus und das ist gut so. Das wird jetzt Tradition bei dir, dass du dir die Eiswürfel über die Rübe schüttest, oder?
Solange es funktioniert, bleibe ich so.
Du hast die Nummer 9 der Welt bezwungen. Ich habe seit 1-2 Jahren, vielleicht seit dem vergangenen Jahr, den Eindruck, dass du wirklich bei der PDC angekommen bist. Du traust dir auch Siege gegen den Nummer 9 der Welt zu. Du traust es dir zu, die Großen auf dem Circuit zu schlagen. Täuscht der Eindruck oder stimmt das?
Nein, die sind absolut Respekt. Die sind Weltklasse-Spieler. Gegen denen muss man wirklich Weltklasse-Leistung bringen, sonst haben wir 0 Chance. Das ist mein Tag, meine Wochenende, meine Fans. Und da kann mich keiner schlagen.
Viertelfinale, nachdem du im letzten Jahr schon in Stuttgart-Sindelfingen im Halbfinale standst. Jetzt... ja, nimm es ruhig mit. Spielst im Viertelfinale gegen den Sieger Andy Smith, Ronnie Baxter. Die hast du beide schon bezwungen und ich erinnere mich in Sindelfingen damals auf dem Weg ins Halbfinale Andy Smith sogar mit 6:0 geschlagen. Da ist noch was drin.
Leider hat er mir noch eine Revanche gegeben, 6:1. Ich habe nicht einmal eine Chance gehabt gegen ihn. Auf meinem Boden, ich bin in Neustadt. Aber das sind Weltklasse-Spieler. Ich hoffe immer, dass ich Weltklasse-Leistung bringe. Wenn ich meine Leistung bringe, dann habe ich ein bisschen Chance. Wenn ich meine Leistung nicht bringe, haben wir wirklich 0 Chance. Wir sind alle, meisten von Publikum sind Elektronikdaten, die wissen, was wir spielen. Aber da muss man wirklich Respekt, wirklich eine riesengroße Leistung bringen, sonst haben wir wirklich keine Chance.
Er ist so bescheiden. Dann habe ich eine kleine, klitzekleine Chance. Wenn er so spielt wie gerade gegen Robert Thornton, dann mischt er auf jeden Fall so richtig mit. Herzlichen Glückwunsch für das Erreichen des Viertelfinals. The Gentle Mensur Suljovic.